Lionhearted Entertainment.
So let's start it off with Gunna, Wunna. What did you guys think? What were your takeaways from the album?
I thought it was pretty good. I definitely still don't think it's his best album. I think it's not as good as DS3. I think it might be better than Drip or Drown 2, especially once the bonus songs come out. It's pretty good. I
Do
like
you
it.
have any critiques?
I think there was too many songs that were like slow tempo and not enough like high tempo songs where he
Okay.
kind of like riding the beat and there's like a cool vibe to the song, but there wasn't enough like turn up songs.
It's for me, Gunna either comes in and just smashes a song, or it's just completely like I'm falling asleep like on some of these tracks. Like that's what I don't get about it. Like how do you have some fucking bangers where your just flow sounds sick and like everything just comes together, and then you just have like lullaby music on some.
I feel like a lot of it has to do with the beat though. Like some of the beats, I feel like the one like absolute skip for me, like I just went through the track list again.
Yeah.
The one absolute skip for me is I'm On Some. That song is like perfectly describes like what you just said.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and I don't know what you
lullaby,
thought of,
like put you to sleep song.
I don't know what you thought about the beginning or what your favorite parts of the album were, but I don't even feel like the album. Argentina was a pretty good intro song. I didn't love it.
I don't think Gunna's strong suit is intros. Like he never has like a good intro. He's not like an intro artist.
No, for me, I don't even think the album started until song 5, until Dollars on My Head with Young Thug. Like I could go without all.
I like Money on the Way a lot, actually.
Do you?
Yeah. And I like Fiendin', but whatever horn and stuff they used, I think that the loop could have been better for like the instruments.
Yeah.
It's Take Keith on the beat, I think.
Yeah, it is Take Keith on that one.
I think that the instrument loop could have been a little better because the drums were pretty good. But I think that song's good. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's like a great Gunna song. I think Money on the Way is the best out of all the first 4 songs before you get to Dollars on My Head.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and Money on the Way, like I thought was pretty good, but from Dollars on My Head through like Addie's is one of my favorite songs on there.
Like
I think Netchi, I guess I was looking a little bit into him.
Boy.
So he signed with Wild. So yeah, they grew up together. So they've known each other for 25 plus years. And I thought his flow was pretty sick on it. Like he had.
Yeah. I like how he came in too. He's like, I'm geeking off codeine. Hey,
yeah. It was a little different. Like it reminded me a little bit of like a few different artist styles. Like he had a little Playboy Cardi in him there. I thought it was just really overall pretty cool.
Maybe he could be like Gunna's like Lil Duke. Yeah. Like he could be like Duke to Gunna, where like he just comes out like on a couple fire songs of Gunna.
I was actually thinking that too. That's who I was comparing it in my head to. Like who?
He's apparently so Genius. I don't know if I think they took it off, but originally they had all the bonus songs listed somehow. They knew the bonus songs already. They think there's 13 bonus songs, and he's on one of the bonus songs too.
Oh, that's fire. Let's go. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to hear more from him.
So this is another thing I wanted to bring up. I think that like a lot of the songs are slower tempo because they know that they're going to put out a bonus song. So they're like, oh, we're going to save some of the best songs for the bonus. Like I feel like this is a consistent theme with all these albums that are coming out. The Nav one was exactly like that. They purposely saved some of the better songs for the bonus tracks.
Yeah, I mean, they have to do that so like people go back and actually listen to the bonus tracks.
But I feel like that makes more sense when you're dropping it within the next few days or like a week. Like, is he planning on doing that, or is he holding this for a little while?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You could tell they plan on doing it because they immediately said it right away. And that seems to be the theme of a lot of artists right now is just bang, put the album out, bonus tracks, probably to boost the numbers or at least keep the album relevant.
I mean, I don't think Gunna needs to boost the numbers though. Like Nav needed a boost in the numbers, so that's why Cash put the songs out on Monday. I don't think that was their initial plan.
Like week 2 numbers are almost just as important as week 1 numbers because
if they put the songs out this Friday, I won't be surprised. If they just copy Uzi, I think that's probably the smartest thing to do.
Because once you have at least like 2 weeks of relevance, it's a little better than just like 100,000 streams or 100,000 records sold week 1 and then 5,000 sold week
I
2.
mean,
You know,
they could also do what Lil Baby did, which was like he waited
He waited
a couple of months, I think.
yeah.
And then I'm assuming that like reinvigorates your streams for the same album like a couple months later. It kind of puts you back in the spotlight for a little
I'm
while.
actually glad you brought up Little Baby. So to actually say why I think the difference between Gunna and Baby's albums are, at least in this situation, is because Little Baby had songs that stuck around for a little bit, you know? So he didn't necessarily need to throw a deluxe right away.
Yeah.
And then this would just go right into my opinion on the album. So I thought the album was pretty good, but I don't think there's any big songs that are actually going to stick around like that. Like to me, I think Skybox is still the best song on this album.
I mean,
And
it's getting radio play. Like I went in the car the last couple days and it was on like 3 times.
I mean, Skybox stood.
I was kinda
Skybox is a
surprised,
really good
but
song. And that,
it's a dope song.
if
yeah.
I had to pick, like, even before it came out, like out of any of these songs, maybe Travis Scott, maybe the Roddy Ricch song, but I don't even think those are like that good.
I like the other single better than Skybox. I like Wunna better than Skybox because I like the beat better.
I feel
I
Skybox
think
is
they're
just
both
like
good.
more easy on the ears, and it's like a little more catchy, so people could actually like relate to it. But
that's the other thing. It's like both of those are singles with only Gunna, like no features.
Yeah.
And those are the best songs on the album. So that says enough about Gunna. Whereas a lot of other artists, like their biggest single is their biggest feature on the project.
yeah, and Gunna never had that problem though. Like he always had his last album. What was his singles? Outstanding, Speed It Up, right?
All of the
And
yeah,
those
exactly.
always.
The ones with just him and like Turbo.
But overall on the album, I think it needed a little bit more. It needed a little something. Like everyone has bigger songs. I don't think he had any big songs. Like I don't think anything's.
I'm afraid of
this is a bop.
I'm afraid
this is
of it. Like I'm afraid of the reason being because they're holding out songs to put on a bonus on purpose. Instead of just like collecting the 16 best songs that you collected for this project and like putting them together and putting them out at one time, it's like they put out the songs initially with the intention of putting out 13 more songs. They're not going to save like the 13 worst songs to put out secondary. Like
yeah,
they're going to be like, oh, these 3 songs are even hotter than the songs that we're going to put out right now. Like it's almost like.
But you still need like a single to get going. Not like a single,
I think that they have it though. I think that Skybox is going to get plenty of play.
I guess it is Skybox, right?
I think Met Gala is going to blow up more than you guys think.
I think that's arguably the best song on the whole project. Like that's the most Gunna song.
Yeah, Met Gala is absolute fucking flames. And just to your point of like him making a solo song, all 4 of my favorite songs. So Met Gala, Nasty Girl on Camera, Don't Play Around, and Do Better. Do Better, like all 4 of those are just him solo. Like I was a little disappointed. I didn't hate the song with him and Little Baby, but it wasn't sold out. It wasn't sold out dates or drip hard or drip too hard.
It's because the beat is not the same. The beat is like evil, like it's more like trap, like evil sounding.
Yeah,
it's not like a pop song.
That's why I'm saying I don't hate it. Like I don't mind the song at all. I kind of like it, but it's just like when I think of Turbo and Baby and Gunna on a song, like I was so hoping for like another kind of sold out dates or drip too hard, but it was a good song.
I mean it's more like some of the other album cuts from what was the drip season one, or not drip season, drip harder.
Drip harder, yeah.
Yeah, and then
it was more like Velo and Thug or Business is Business. The only bad part I think is that the feature on the Lil Baby album is kind of similar. Like both of them are just kind of like evil sounding trap songs where it's like, yeah, we want another sold out dates. We want another like drip too hard. We want another like uplifting, like not pop song, but like popular sounding song.
A little more mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily think that song's gonna stick. And then it's just like the way the album's chopped up, like then it goes to Rockstar Bikers and Chains, which is just not a good song.
I don't know. Like
I didn't think it was a bad song. I think that beat would have been sick for Lil Uzi.
Yeah. I think Uzi could have been on that for sure.
And it sounds like a title of an Uzi song.
I don't really know
anyway.
what you could have done else on that beat. Like the beat is just it's very like experimental.
Yeah, that was very different.
So I don't really know how you can make it like much more hot than that.
Speaking of some of the beats, I just wanted to shout out Turbo and Wheezy because they put everything into this album. Most of the songs they just ran away with, and I couldn't ask for better beats on a project. However, though, I kind of do wish they saved some of these beats for other artists because for a full project, having these sick ass beats and then Gunna kind of not being repetitive, but Gunna kind of just has the same flow and the same hook texture
Yeah,
every song.
I think like a lot of people's like concern or the reason why they like Lil Baby more than Gunna is because of his like flow and his monotone voice. And he does have like repetitive flow on a lot of the songs. But I think like if you listen to the lyrics, his lyrics are so much better than Lil Baby. Like he's actually a dope
Totally
rapper.
agree. Yeah, I actually sent the song you said you didn't like. On some. I sent like the lyrics to Alec before because he shout out Jersey City, and then I went back.
I heard that
Yeah,
part.
and I went
Yeah.
back and I just like followed the rest of the lyrics, and I was like, oh shit, like he's actually spitting pretty dope
I
shit.
normally like the lyrics. I just don't like that song because it's so slow.
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not a big song.
it's
I'm not a big fan of the beat.
it's so, but like, are you serious with that comment though?
What?
Like wearing Gunna's lyrics, are there really ever anything of
I fuck
substance?
with the lyrics. I fuck with the
I mean,
whole,
just
the whole
go back
first
to
verse of "Don't Play Around" is really good.
yeah, I like
Do
Don't Play
Better,
Around.
all
Well,
the
that's
lyrics
why I
on Do
like the
Better are
end of it.
dope.
Yeah, Do
Money
Better
on
and
the
Don't Play
Way,
Around are
he's
my
got
favorite
like
songs.
dope lyrics on that one. He's got a lot of Met Gala, all the lyrics on the second verse of Met Gala is probably the best verse on the whole project. It's like actually dope as fuck. And the way that he says all of the bars with his flow makes it like a lot cooler. Like,
but the
Yeah.
I really
only
like
thing
that
is
song.
though, his lyrics are repetitive too because he does kind of rap about the same shit. So like,
Yeah, I mean most rappers do that.
this Lil Baby has like different flows and he could switch up his style and maybe give you a little more melody than Gunna. Gunna doesn't have that. That's why
I
as
don't know. I don't know. I kind of disagree.
top
I
to
think
bottom,
I think
it's
they
just
just have a
hard to
little bit
like
of a
get
different
through.
pitch. I think Gunna's voice is like a little bit lower than Lil Baby's. Lil Baby has like a high pitched voice.
Yeah,
So
but
maybe
he's
that's
also
why it
like,
seems like he can hit like more notes, but I don't think that they're actually hitting any different
I mean,
notes.
he's not like singing his ass off or anything, but he just could give you a little more melodic vibe where Gunna can't
He
really
has
stretch his notes
generally
out.
more like up tempo songs too, which kind of tricks you into thinking like, oh, he has more energy and stuff. Like I think Gunna picked way too many songs that are just too slow. They're
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
slow.
I mean, that's honestly,
like
that could be it.
like Gimmick is slow. The best songs are like Dollars on My Head and Addies. Those are both fast tempo songs, right?
Yeah,
Skybox and Wunna are kind of like fast tempo too. Then Rockstar Bikers and Chains, super slow tempo. So that's one that we were arguing like might not be that good. Super slow tempo. Met Gala is good, but that's like kind of normal. Nasty Girl's good. That's kind of normal. Cooler Than a Bitch is kind of slow.
it is very slow. I was kind of disappointed with that song. I like it personally, but I thought
I like it, but I don't think it's not like the hit song.
yeah, I
The one
thought
with
that would
Roddy
be the
was going to be
hit.
Well, I
like
mean,
the
Yeah,
just
hit.
for
and
sure.
you shouldn't name a song cooler than a bitch. Like, what kind of like that's just the dumbest
I
thing
mean,
I've
that's
ever
what he
heard.
said. They just took one of the lines, I guess.
I thought Roddy was
Yeah.
going to be on the hook, and that's kind of
Roddy-
what I want to.
Yeah, Roddy
I
sounded
thought the hook was pretty good.
Roddy sounded pretty dope on that song. Like his flow was pretty sick. I liked Roddy's parts
Yeah,
on
I
that.
think they're good. I think they're good together. I think that the song
Yeah.
with
They had
him and
Start
Gunna
With
on
Me,
Roddy's
right?
project was better.
Start With Me. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that song was better than this one.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I like this song.
Apparently they made like 4 or 5 songs together for this, and then they ended up both choosing this one. So I mean, I guess it
I'm
was
not
the
a
best
big
one
fan
of
of the
batch.
beat. Like
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It's not like anything special. And
I don't like the beat
one
that
thing
much.
I
I
would
like the
say-
song though.
yeah, I think it's a good song, but I was expecting something like to be blown away by this song.
What's
Nah, not
interesting
at all.
too is my favorite songs kind of like steer away from Turbo and Wheezy a little bit, and they gear towards other producers that are coming up a little bit, which I thought was pretty cool and interesting. Like Don't Play Around was Out of Town and Aviator Keys, and Do Better was
I like that beat a lot, but the one comment that I would have on it is they should have taken the 808 and lowered it 1 octave for at least some of the patterns. Like it's like really high octave every single time they play the 808.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
but they should have lowered the 808 like one octave.
Well,
And
like
I
he's done.
saw people online saying like that was like a skip, and I was like, I really like that song.
Yeah, I like that one too. And that kid's like all over the map, like that Out of Town, the producer. He did
Oh, really?
Sasuke, he did Venetia, he did Celebration
Oh, he
Station.
did. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, so I figured you guys would like that one.
I didn't know it was the same kid, but I guess that explains why I like all the instruments and stuff.
Yeah, and then Do Better was, I mean, you had the Wheezy drums in there, but that was, I think I was
Yeah.
talking to you about this. That's my favorite song on there, and it was produced by Simon, which did Fine China with Future and Juice, and then Jasper Harris, who did like Rich and Blind, and he had a couple other big songs too. So I just thought it was cool. Like it was a little change of, it wasn't all just Turbo and Wheezy, even though they killed a lot of the beats that they did.
I mean, I think that most of the drums are Turbo and Wheezy. Like there's a lot of different production credits on here. Don't Play Around is not them, but most of the songs, the drums are like either Wheezy or Turbo.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sure they were there on every.
Even Do Better, like the drums are pretty much all Wheezy. Like you can tell his hi-hat patterns and his 808s and everything, like that's definitely him on the drums, but the guitar is that Jasper Harris kid, and it's like all detuned. It's like a really cool riff.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then they have like a pretty cool transition piece.
And just kind of his lyrics, like you mentioned too, like I mean, he's just really talking about like progressing and just kind of like getting better. So it's just a little bit different than just gloating about like having fucking bitches and having mad jewelry and shit like that. Yeah. And I like how like he records a lot of his shit like when he travels. So like I saw he made a lot of songs in LA. He made some songs traveling to a couple different countries. So he wasn't always just sitting in one area when he's making these songs. So he's like getting inspired by the travel. So if you look at Argentina,
they were in Jamaica for a bunch of the songs.
They say like different hoes like Argentina and California. It's funny because he actually, him and Wheezy were driving in a car, and they stopped next to another car, and there was 2 girls from California and 2 girls from Argentina, and they invited them back to the studio, and that's when they made that song. Like,
where did you see that?
I saw some type of video or YouTube or Instagram video that they were talking about. So that's why he like shouts. He's like, yeah, anything that kind of happens in my life, that's kind of how I throw it into my music, which is kind of like, at first I'm like, Argentina and California hoes, like what the fuck is that about? That's a kind of different like different scene to like throw together. But yeah, that's kind of where that came into place. So I thought that was cool. And then the whole the videos he's making for what is it, the documentary?
Yeah, the documentary series is pretty dope.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, Gunna's just.
I think the rollout was pretty good. Yeah, I think the rollout is like pretty professionally done. I like how they're like rolling out all the songs, and I guess we'll see how they roll out the bonus songs.
Yeah.
But
did they do prediction for numbers for this yet?
I think it said between 110 and 120.
That sounds about right.
Which is pretty good. But like, I mean, Skybox came out like a couple months ago. It came out at the same time as EA.
Yeah, but I don't think Skybox got like through the roof plays where it would just jump those numbers up.
I think the reason was because he dropped it on the same Friday as Eternal Take.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was probably a mistake, but now it's getting plays, so.
Yeah, it's a dope
that's
song.
What it is.
Oh, I didn't even realize he dropped it then. Quick shout out. So Polo G ended up doing 100,000 first week, which is pretty sick. Yeah. I know he had a couple of the songs come out first. Yeah, he had Heartless come out. So I don't know like how much of that was a factor into it.
That's like 150% increase from his last project. That's
exactly.
Huge.
Yeah, and I mean,
Future did like 80 last time, and he's gonna do like 110. That's not even 50%.
Yeah, and I know Future, his was kind of rushed, but his did 150 only, really. And I mean, he had Life Is Good on there, so
he had like 5 songs out before, yeah. And Life Is Good is already platinum.
That was his highest sales ever.
Opening week.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Life Is Good's been out though for 5-6 months, so
that's probably why.
That's easily why. I mean, that's probably a solid. I mean, I don't know how much one single boosts the album up, but it already went platinum.
I think a lot because it goes by like some number of million streams is.
I think every
like
third
sale.
Well, I think like every X amount of streams equals one sale. So I think,
and it's just divided by the total, like the
exactly,
total number of
exactly.
Streams.
So,
but before we move on, let's just let's close it out on Gunna's album. Let's close it out with what 3 songs were our favorites. Each will go around and name them quick. So if anyone wants to just listen to those tracks and not the whole album.
All right, I'll go first, I guess. I'm gonna go with Addie's Met Gala and Don't Play Around. But the one thing we didn't talk about at all was the Travis Scott song.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about that quick.
What did you guys think of the Travis Scott song?
I mean, it's Trav, Gunna, Wheezy, and Turbo, so like that's an automatic hit.
And Mike Dean on the vocal mixing for Travis. That's why it was sick.
Yeah. I mean, his vocals has he put anything out where Mike Dean didn't mix his vocals in the last like couple years?
I don't think he
I don't
could
know
at
off the
this
top of my
point,
head,
honestly.
but
It was kind of like Hot Part 2. I feel like
because of the
agree,
horns. That's
100%.
why it has like a bunch of horn. It probably has like the same horn emulator, and it has like a similar tempo. But I kind of like this beat more than the Hot beat, to be totally honest.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's like a better beat, and I think that Travis's vocal mixing is so. I mean, it's the best thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
All of his background vocals, like the ad libs, and then all of like his humming and stuff is so professionally done. I can't even like explain how hard that is to do.
Yeah, this was like vintage mixing too, because Travis had a lot of the older, like the humming sound in the back.
Yeah, he had that. But
high
then
pitch
he has that layered with like the one ad lib, and then it echoes between the like your two headphones. Like, it's whatever Mike Dean does to his vocals. Like, I don't even know. That guy's a wizard.
The only thing is, though, I don't think that song like itself was just that great of a song. Like, I thought it was all composed well, and Gunna only had one verse. No, I like the song. I just don't think like it's not like a hit, you know? And I felt like with that beat and Travis Scott, it should have easily been a hit.
I think it's a good trap song. Like, I think it's one of the stronger songs on the project.
Yeah, for sure. I
think it's like definitely top 5-6 songs on the project.
I feel like that, if not the Roddy Ricch one, should have been the single, and I'm not getting like single vibes from this song.
I think
if there's a song to blow up, it should be this song because of Travis. But I'm not getting like classic Travis Scott single vibes from this song. You know?
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I loved the song and I love the beat, but it's not something that like there's something missing. I don't know what the spark is from it, but I know what you're saying. Like,
I'm not blasting this at a pregame. Like, it's not my first choice, you know? That's the vibes that it should be.
Yeah, it's just I feel like there's so much music has came out lately that my head's starting to fucking hurt. It really is. Like, there's just like, what do I even listen to at this point? What do I even like? There's too much going on, and then I'm like, oh shit, I got to catch up on like something old that I haven't listened to in a while. So like Mac Miller, I've been listening to.
You want to know what it probably was? It's probably because it's not like a catchy hook.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be what it is. I guess it's the hook. Yeah.
Where Hot has like a super catchy hook.
Yeah.
The hook on this song sounds like a bridge, like when Travis is doing the amount to blah blah blah. Like, I feel like then a hook should come right after that.
Maybe Gunna should have done the hook.
Yeah, motherfucking Gunna. Go back and do the hook, bro.
Maybe you should have done the hook though. For real.
I feel like he should have been part of it at least. The hook was like 4 lines, and it was just like hums and ad libs, pretty much.
And then one of the other dopest hooks on the project that we didn't talk about was the last song, "Far" with Young Thug, when they're two vocals.
Motherfuck, that was my favorite one.
On top of each other, and like Thug's vocal is only in like your right ear, and it's like layered underneath Gunna's vocal. And
in the chorus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. Like however they mix that together.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because when I was listening to it, I actually like didn't know who it was at first, and I was like, oh, it's just fucking both of them.
Yeah, it was dope. I really liked how they mixed that and put it together.
Yeah, I got to go back and listen to that. I was just gonna say we didn't really talk too much in detail about the Thug songs too.
I like Dollars on My Head better because I like both. I like the beat better.
Yeah. And their Thug's flow is pretty cool on Dollars on My Head too. He starts it off with like kind of like a 2 Chainz flow.
He goes and then a while too. Like,
he does.
On the song.
And then it's kind of like his vintage kind of style at the end.
It's a solid track. I think it's a solid track from them. I think it's weird. I think that Gunna, his singles and some of the songs with just him overshadow some of the features, which is weird to say. And
no, it really is.
Another general comment I would have about it is I never thought I would say this, but I don't think that there's enough guitar.
Don't tell him that, bro. Don't ask for that, please.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more guitar in the next 13 songs. I agree. Like, you can't go wrong with the guitar nowadays. It's
I
just
think
like
he just realized that he put out like fucking 500 guitar songs.
like
and he's
some
just
of their
you know what?
rips, some of their rips are just fire. Yeah, I was texting Lee like yesterday, but he said that you can't really clear a Beatles sample, I guess.
No, you definitely can't clear that.
So
There's
you
no
know the
way.
song? What was the song I said?
Maybe you could get away with like copying the chord progression because other songs have
Oh,
probably
like
copied
here
it.
comes the sun, do do
You can't-
do.
yeah,
Yo,
you can't
the
copy the
guitar
melody.
the guitar at the beginning of that is
Yeah.
so fire. Like that would be so sick with a trap beat.
Yeah.
Dude, if the Beatles could get cleared, or if
Unless
people
you
could
got, like,
clear the
Paul
Beatles
McCartney on
samples, you wouldn't stop hearing it in hip hop.
Yeah, oh, absolutely not.
If you could finesse Paul McCartney on there and give him like 90% of the royalties.
Yeah, he'd probably fuck you in the ass with it. All right, but so Lee's favorite songs were, you said "Don't Play Around," you had
Met Gala, and Don't Play Around. But I could have like
you
5
could
or
mix,
6
yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure as time goes on, you'll have a different one, and then
Yeah.
the bonus tracks come out.
Yeah, I think Met Gala is like the classic Gunna song. But I also really like Wunna too. Like, I'm kind of biased because that song came out like 4 days before all the other ones.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
didn't
exactly.
listen to it, like, but I like that song too.
Tono, what were your favorite 3?
So I'm not gonna say it because it's been out already, but I personally think Skybox is the best song and probably my favorite. But I'll probably go with, I liked Far a lot. Not too much better than Dollars on My Head, but I liked it a little better, and it was a good song to close the album. So Far, and then I like Nasty Girl / On Camera because I like both of those together. I mean, they should have just been separate songs, but I think both songs are sick. And then probably Addie's, honestly. Addie's was a clean song.
I think what I was talking about with the key wheel, they did on that song. On
that, oh yeah.
Yeah, because
that was a pretty clean
when
transition.
the beat changes, you notice it goes up in pitch. Like at the very end of the switch, it goes up in pitch by half a note.
Yeah,
I gotta listen for that.
Like
I know it is clean though when they transition it in, and the beats don't even sound similar at all.
Like what I was saying though, with like Gunna and being in the studio and how he has like his different vibes on it. I think that song I was reading something about too, that like he was mid song and then something else like popped up to where they got the idea to transition it. So I think it was something like more inspired that like they had some bitches in the studio. Yeah, yeah. So there's always been a deeper meaning. That's why in the documentary I wanted to see like that it didn't fully come out yet, did it?
They released 2 videos, but they're only like 7 minutes long. Yeah,
so I think there's other stuff like in the works too, with really the fluidity of like how they make the song. So I'd be interested in more of that because that can get you more emotionally attached on a song. But my favorite songs, quick, were "Do Better" that I've been talking about. I think that song's phenomenally made. I really liked "Nasty Girl on Camera" too. I liked the transition and just how it's creative. It sounded cool. And then I liked Met Gala a lot too. Classic, vintage, Gunna, Wheezy was fire.
Lionhearted Entertainment.